Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to The Patch. This week brought to you by Crunchyroll, Dollar Shave Club, and the Red vs. Blue book. Someone snuck the Red vs. Blue book in there.
They snuck it in?
What? Yeah. It was blocking Meg.
It was totally
but I
right
took it
here.
down.
Oh, when I made it?
There it is.
We'll
talk more about it later.
Rewind to when you were like, welcome. You were like, hello. And I went, oh, hi. Because I thought you were talking to me. I don't know why I was like...
Meg literally just sat down while the intro was playing. She was screaming from the kitchen how she was going to make it on time.
I was going to make it on time.
I was impressed by how it carried, too.
And then I was like running with my coffee, and Zach Andrew came out of nowhere. And I almost spilled coffee.
That's Zach. I thought you was another Zach.
No.
Oh, okay.
And Josh goes, I knew it was going to happen. Like, he was just going to let me pour hot coffee on Zach.
So we're here, The Patch.
Welcome to The Patch.
You sound so up.
I'm tired. I'm down.
I can understand why.
I've been playing way too much Fallout 4.
Anything else? You just
Fallout 4.
Okay.
Still totally engrossed in that game.
So we got basically big four right now. There's Fallout 4, Tomb Raider, StarCraft 2, and essentially Black Ops 3 just came out Friday. So
and Battlefront's coming soon.
Battlefront's next week. But you can play. I think you can play it early if you have the EA.
If you have EA access, you can play already.
I got my Pip-Boy edition today. It's in my car.
Nice.
Oh man, I should have been wearing it.
It's right down there.
Someone tweeted actually saying they couldn't wait to see everybody but me
wearing it. Oh shit! Someone run to my car. My keys in my purse.
Never mind.
We'll wear them.
Don't everyone run to her purse at once.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My support staff, Merle's gone. Merle's my support staff.
I have not put this on yet. Actually, I just got it and put it on
did mean it. If anybody wants to grab my purse and can find my car. All right, Patrick's taking the initiative. You just have to stand near it, and it'll unlock for you.
Now you should probably
you just take the whole purse.
Right?
Just standing near it with the key and touch the button, and it'll open the door.
You just turn Patrick into that guy at the mall that's standing with the purse.
Hold on, I'm trying on shoes.
Now we did discover
I'll wear them.
The latch on this is not very strong.
It's not?
Oh,
it's already kind of falling apart, actually.
Really?
Yeah, his is like flapping
inside,
down.
That part's
Look at that.
flapping off.
Wow. Okay.
High quality.
Look, you must have gotten like the second run.
I
ordered it as soon as they announced it.
There you go. You're Pip-Boyed. Oh, it fell over. Does that part pull off? Nice.
What part?
So the white dealie on the bottom there?
The white no, it does not.
Well, maybe it doesn't unlock the vault.
I was kind of messing with it, and I felt like I was going to break it, so I stopped.
But maybe you'll pull it out and it'll be a key.
Or maybe you pull it out and it'll be broken.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I obviously didn't put my phone on.
Don't pull it out. It's better the other way.
Yeah.
So I want to say something sacrilegious. So I got my Pip-Boy edition.
Yeah.
Very excited. Got it this morning. I think I want to play Tomb Raider first.
Oh.
See?
Like, I think I might be playing Tomb Raider first.
My thought. Well, here's the thing. And so I've dabbled my toes in every one of these titles so far.
Oh, you've had your toes in all the Tomb Raiders?
I dipped my toe just a little into the Tomb Raider. By the way, again, Tomb Raider. So we did a Let's Watch in it already for about the first hour or so. Right off the bat, here's what we got. This isn't really a spoiler, but this is just kind of I've just kept track of... Am I going
to be pissed off at you when you're done with this? All right.
I've just kept track of the damage she sustained in hour 1.
Okay.
Car wreck that resulted in the destruction of the vehicle. Fell off a cliff and hit her head.
Oh, yeah.
Got washed away.
You're the real MVP.
We can have an unboxing live on the patch. Washed away by a torrential flood of water. Fell off another cliff. And then banged her head again.
So
banging your head, that's the worst part. Just say from experience.
Was Ryan in that game?
Yeah, Ryan's pushing people over in that game.
Knocking Lara Croft over.
I did result in Lara Croft getting banged around a bit. And they still have...
I'm sure you were.
Whoa.
He's got 2 kids, don't you know?
They still have a lot of the super brutal, like, oh, you shouldn't have gone that way, so we're going to show you getting crushed to death.
Yeah, I did hear that. The death montage is still all good.
Sometimes. Occasionally, and there's some things that are kind of ridiculous, too. Like, you jump one direction, and it's like, no, you weren't supposed to go there, so your body just mid-jump goes limp. Like one time I just jumped to a platform I wasn't supposed to go, and so I just went limp and my body just landed on the platform. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
So that's a
decision.
no.
Yeah. You're struggling a bit.
You need
there,
some
Meg.
help?
Yeah, help her with that
Thank
tape.
you.
Just
tape.
the tape.
It's this thing here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thanks. I'm trying to be quiet.
See,
and it's
luckily
just not
I did this
happening.
while I wasn't on camera, but I was experiencing the exact same struggle you are.
Okay.
that down
Oh, oh,
it's
it
already-
popped open.
Wow, it's eager.
It wanted to.
It's like-
It wanted to be. Do 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 do.
Ooh.
Made in China. I love the Made in China sticker, right?
Very
They're
prominent.
very prominently
In
placed.
case you wondered, there it is. Bam.
It's very warm.
It is very warm. Well, it's been
It was in my
outside
car.
in Texas.
Outside.
Oh, it's nice and padded in there.
Got a little padding there.
So this is physical copy of this. Are you gonna play it with a physical copy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I played digital.
I know you
Of course
did.
you did.
Yeah, I gave my physical copy away here in the studio this morning. I sent an email to everybody asking if anybody wanted it, and I got like 10 replies
How
within
fast
30
did it
seconds.
go?
It was like
Okay.
instant.
I dithered a lot. I think it's
Was it
that's backwards.
Was it 8-bit dithering?
I think
Is
that's
it
backwards.
Oh, it is backwards.
Yeah. No. And I eventually settled on PC. I went with the PC version instead of the
People
console.
seem to agree that that's the
Mine's
the best
also
version.
broken in the same spot.
Yeah,
Look at that.
It's a little cheaply assembled.
Well, look. I mean, that's just padding. It's not really supposed to be held in there, right? It's just kind of.
Yeah, I feel like
Where are you getting?
It's nice and heavy. Go ahead.
people have been
There you go.
saying that the PC version's the best and that the Xbox One version's the worst. Look at us. We're just chilling with our Pip Boys.
Yeah. Can we get
Yeah.
the wide? Can we get
Yeah,
the wide?
just-
What time is
Yeah.
it?
Chilling
Oh.
with the.
It's status time.
But I feel like a lot of the complaining seems overrated to me.
Over,
Or
the
like
complaining
overblown.
seems overrated.
Or
Okay,
like
got it.
it's overblown. I feel like I have not experienced, and again, I wrote a journal about this. Full disclosure,
Look at us, cool guys.
a week before the game came out,
Armed
I was given a
computing.
physical copy of the game by the
Right.
developer. So take it what you will. But I feel like I'm giving my honest opinion.
Oh,
here.
I'll take it.
I don't feel like the bugs are that crazy.
Interesting that
All right,
you
what-
say that
what
because
bugs?
there have been lots of bugs reported. We actually
Yeah.
did a story about some of the bugs, and actually, it seems like the PC version is doing a lot better than the console version
Yeah.
for bugs. But I came home. Gavin doesn't watch anything that I do, and I
Does he
don't
know
watch
where you
anything
work?
That he does either.
No, that's fair.
It's gonna be a surprise one day. We run into each other in the kitchen. But anyway, he didn't know I'd done a story on Fallout 4 bugs, and I was like, "Hey, how's Fallout 4 going for you?" And he was like, "Oh, it's really good. This, that, and the other thing." And I said, "Have you had any bugs?" And he was like, "Oh man, yeah, a lot." And he said that it was random stuff like the subtitles. He has to have subtitles on. He doesn't understand American accents, so the subtitles on. So
explains a lot.
They'll freeze. So he was like,
Yeah.
I had a whole like 20-minute conversation, and I had the first subtitle on the whole time.
That has happened to me on PC as well. Yeah.
Or like player or models won't animate, so like character models won't animate, so it'll show like a discussion and one person just won't be there. And he also said sometimes it would cut back to the other person and the camera would just be like in a wall, just
had that,
hanging
yeah.
out a bunch.
Is he playing the Xbox One version?
Yeah, Xbox
So
One.
out of those, the only one I've seen is the dialogue. I also play with subtitles on. Occasionally, it'll freeze and I'll miss one. Like it won't do the subtitles for one line, but then it immediately picks up on the next.
And you're playing on
Xbox One.
Xbox One. Interesting, because
and,
it seems like Xbox One was having the most frame rate issues out of everyone
Yeah,
else.
and occasionally, like I know people say that like it goes to zero. Occasionally, like it will like do that stutter thing where it like stops for just a second and then continues. But
Yeah, because
I
0
mean,
frames
it's
per
not
second,
like-
that's just a picture, right? Like it just
right,
froze?
yes,
Okay.
it just freezes
That's
for
a screenshot.
a second and then continues. But I feel like it happens every now and then, but not to the point where I'm like, oh, this game's a piece of shit.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people were saying if it were any other game, we would be shitting on that game. But I think the reason that there's a difference between us shitting on Bethesda and us accepting Bethesda for what it is that people don't feel like the experience is ruined. Everyone who has had issues is still saying like, having really fun so far. Like it's not breaking the environment for them.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, I did not play Unity. And Unity is the closest comparison I can think of.
or like an Arkham Knight, maybe.
When Unity stuttered, like the game world kept going, right? Like that was part of the problem.
Well, the input stuttered essentially, which
Okay.
it sounds very similar to what you've been experiencing.
Well, when I experienced, like everything just stops and holds for a second and then continues. So it's not like
Okay,
it's not like
that's a
the
little
world
different.
is progressing. It's like everything. I would be pissed off if the world progressed and if it was just me who froze or stuttered for a second. But the fact that everything kind of stops, like, okay, it's fine, and then we.
Well, and you got to remember, Assassin's Creed is it's a very timing based combat system too,
Yeah,
where
it's
you're
true.
just like, if you're in the middle of fighting 4 guys and all of a sudden the world goes, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think people are inclined
And grind.
to give Fallout a little slack though, just because of the scope of the game. Like they feel like it's so much bigger than most other things. Stop playing with your
all
Pip
the
Boy.
dials
Yeah,
actually work, and I keep doing like,
you
this
also-
is cool.
You haven't done your battery yet, but eventually you can turn the power on. You got to open it up and take the battery thing off.
Oh,
You can turn it on.
But that's the only light. That's kind of lame, actually. It's like that's the only light that
Wait, no,
illuminates.
this one does too.
yeah.
That one does
Oh,
too.
there's
there.
another one. It's like, yay.
Excuse me.
This looks like it should come off, but I'm not going to break it.
Well, don't break Gus's though. He's
yeah,
not like
This one's for the set. It was down there.
yeah, okay, wait. So it's for the set. So break it.
No, don't break it.
Oh, yeah, let's break it.
We'll glue it back. You'd never know.
But it's so big that people think it's like, oh, it's fine. Well, it's
But
so big. That is the
11
problem.
minutes end to end.
The
That was the big claim.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's very dense.
I feel, it's very dense.
Oh, if you were to walk
Yeah.
across it, okay.
End to
It's
end.
like, wow, that's a really short story.
I feel also like in Fallout 3, like in the Capital Wasteland, there were a lot of roadblocks, essentially, like debris blocking roads, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, that part of the map's there, but you can't really get to it. This iteration, there's less of that. It's like the streets are, for the most part, like you can walk through, and if there is like debris or something, it's like to funnel you to the next road where there's an encounter or there's something going on. For the most part, it's a lot more walkable.
Do you have the dog with you?
Currently, no.
Interesting. Neither does Gavin. He convinced me that he beat the dog to death. I was
Which
like,
you can't do.
You can't do, but he killed a cat in GTA 5 in cold blood, and I've
Just
never
to
been the
prove the
same
point
since.
to you, or
He actually did it on accident, and he recorded himself going like do do do, and then he like kicks the cat, and it just like falls over dead, and he's like, "Oh God!" And so there's all that audio. But anyway, he was like, "Oh yeah, I beat the dog to death," and I was like, "I cannot believe you." And he was like, "Nah, my game froze. I had to start back at like a checkpoint, and it was too far away from the dog, so I just said fuck it." So
what does that mean? The dog's just gone?
Yeah, it was just gone. I don't know.
That's
doesn't have
there
them.
has been a lot of complaints about people losing companions.
So I did have that problem where I got, you get the dog first and you get other companions. And I dismissed the dog and it asks you, where do you want the dog to go? And I said, I want the dog to go to Sanctuary Hills, which is like where I'm building out as my main base. Then later I was like, I'm going to go find my dog. I went to Sanctuary Hills and I couldn't find my dog.
He died on the way there.
But later in the game, it's like you need the dog for a mission.
Oh shit! Really?
Uh-oh.
And then he just shows up though. And it's like, oh, the dog's here. Okay, cool, he's back.
Interesting. Okay, well that's fair. At least it summons the dog.
Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, and that would be a much bigger deal for me if I was using the dog. But at the time, like, I don't give a fuck about the dog. I like the other companions more.
How is it they've
Interesting.
not yet figured out how to make companions work? I mean, there's the same issues in Fallout 3 where I would occasionally fast travel and my companion would just walk. And I'd have to backtrack the direction I fast traveled. And I'd just
Really?
find him out in the waste, like running into a wall.
That's really
I mean, that happened to me more than once. It was really frustrating. That's why I just never bothered with companions, is because they never really got it to work in a way that it should.
I felt like the most promise, and it was still really annoying, but Resident Evil 5 had a terrible AI, but it was like, I feel like you're on the brink of something good here. So, and then now they still suck. Like, companions still haven't been figured out.
Yeah, for the most part, I prefer going it on my own because it's like, oh, I'm trying to sneak. Then there's like, you have a huge like companion just like stomping around, like, no, shh, oh, fuck, all right, we're fine.
Actually, get in the dumpster.
Yeah,
Wait
exactly.
there.
Actually, I think Jeremy told me he left the dog behind because it wouldn't shut up.
Really?
It just constantly barks whenever it finds something, so it's just barking all
Let
the
me
time.
say, my dogs hate that dog.
Really?
That dog might be shouting, hey, Gus's dogs, fuck you. Because every time it barks, my dog's like, what'd that dog say? Like, they're like looking in the direction of my TV, like, what? And I'm like, no, it's just the game.
That's so interesting. My dog doesn't even acknowledge the TV's existence unless it's a doorbell. Dog, she doesn't give a fuck about. Doorbell, she's going ape shit.
Normally my dogs don't care either.
Ooh.
So that's why I'm like, that dog is saying something
Next
specifically
week.
to my dog.
Next week, we'll find out.
That's
And
a
my dog was
shit-talking
like,
dog.
"What the fuck is that shit?"
Yeah.
They're gonna get together with your dogs and be like, "We gotta take this fucking guy out."
Fuck, this guy just shows up.
This guy's he's just at my TV.
Yeah, he's
Fuck
just
him.
he's just flat.
He's like,
talking shit at me.
I can't look behind him. What the fuck?
Actually, that's the only other glitch aside from the subtitle thing I've encountered so far is dog related. There's a way that if you, and I don't know if this is a glitch or not, or if it's just an Easter egg kind of thing, but you can go back and get the cryolator almost immediately once you get the dog, which is it's a weapon that's locked behind a master level hacking in the vault you start in.
Okay.
Is it? No, it's master level lockpick, isn't it? Or is it hacking?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was lockpick.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
look
a
it up.
master lock or hack. But if you just go back, you can once you get the dog, you can immediately go back down in the vault you start in, and just tell the dog to go find you something, and it just goes up to the lock case and just pulls it right out, just right through the glass. But
He has summoned it through the class.
it really does. He's just like, oh yeah, I got you something. Yoink.
It's lockpicking.
Lockpicking. So
But,
I go down there to get it.
Okay,
Oh, what's up?
I was probably going to say what you were going to say, so go ahead.
Well, no, I go down there to get it, and I look at the dog. I'm like, all right, dog. And it looks at me and just blinks out of existence. It's just gone. It's like, well, shit. So I still had the command of it, though. So I was like, go here? No, it's just, I'd hear it like barking in the distance.
Oh, it's haunting you.
It
The dog
eventually
was
came
never
back.
real. You're actually having a hallucination.
It could have been.
In typical dog fashion, I've heard that if you send it to get the cryolator that way, that it'll give it to you, but then it doesn't give you the ammo. Like you have to go separately
absolutely
again
doesn't,
and ask
yeah.
you for the ammo. Like, dog, did you give me everything?
That's how.
What
do you
else you
remember?
got?
Do you remember what was the game we played? Valiant Hearts. That dog. We'd be like, go over there. No, get that. No, not that thing.
Yeah.
Over there. Vault. That's what his name was. Oh, I like that dog.
Yeah, I was very glad that before the game came out, Bethesda said, "Don't worry, the dog's not gonna die."
Aw.
Because a friend of mine was like, their friend of mine tweeted something like, "As soon as I get that fucking dog in that game, I'm shooting it to save myself the heartache later." He's like, I don't want to get attached to it and then have it die later in the game.
I pretty much did that immediately. I got the cryolator and I was like, I gotta test this. So I went and found some guys, and the dog I was taking them out, and the dog happened to bite one of them at the same time. Froze the shit out of that dog.
No.
Oh yeah, no, he's fine. He
He's
defrosted and just went about his business.
Then he was a hot dog.
No, then he was room temp.
He was a chili dog for a while though.
Yeah.
That's what you come here for.
You
the
pulled
patch.
it out.
You
You
gotta-
pulled it out.
Every
You gotta
week.
stop
You missed
sitting
it with the hot
Barbara.
dog, but you really brought it back with the chili dog.
I don't know why I couldn't think of chili dog first. That was a stretch. I was like, oh wait, that was an easy one. Here, I'm gonna read this. This episode of The Patch is brought to you by Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is the destination for the most authentic anime experience you can find outside of Japan. They offer the largest, most diverse collection of anime series straight from the source. Each season, they bring the best new anime from Japan to deliver the largest lineup of anime, from classics to new favorites. Try out Crunchyroll Premium for 30 days for free at crunchyroll.com/thepatch. They have unlimited anime, manga, and drama titles. Newest episodes as soon as 1 hour after air in Japan via simulcast. All episodes are professionally subtitled and ad-free in 1080p HD. You can enjoy Crunchyroll across all devices: Xbox, PlayStation, Wii U, Roku, Android, iOS, and more. This fall season's lineup includes shows such as The Perfect Insider, The Asterisk War, Comet Lucifer, and Kaiku 2. Crunchyroll Premium membership is usually $6.95 a month, but it's yours free if you go to crunchyroll.com/thepatch. Try out Crunchyroll Premium 30 days free at crunchyroll.com/thepatch. Big thank you to Crunchyroll.
I was actually looking over to see if we had the same defect in our Pip-Boy, and then I was like, oh, my face was probably in his shot. Might as well go with it. The D and radio on both of ours is fucked up.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, it's weathered.
Yeah, but none of the other letters are.
I guess the R in Rads is kind of...
They weathered that one.
Do you want me to show you how to pull the thing out so your things light up?
Yeah. Whoosh.
Yeah, I'll do this while we continue to talk about Fallout 4. I feel like this is going to be a very Fallout 4 heavy episode of.
Yeah.
So when you can take this off. This is how you put the inserts in. Then you push down on that.
Ooh.
And that's supposed to pop right off.
Do you pop that shit? Pop it. Pop that cherry.
There you go.
There you go.
There it
And you
goes.
just pull that little tab.
Oh, cool.
So now your thing works, and you can put the things in there.
Do you? Because I feel like here's how I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
Just
Funk.
Sorry.
with
still
that,
like
like that.
Yeah, the Pip-Boy app's actually really handy.
Gav
but-
said he was amazed by how fast it was.
Yeah.
He literally was like, "Look," and then he pushed something and be like, "And then look," and he pushed something else. I'm like, I get what you're saying. It's very fast.
No, I thought the same thing. I was convinced that there was going to be a lot of latency and make it unusable, but it's actually really handy. Just leave it open with the map when you want
Yeah.
to fast travel. Just like click, 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 or for inventory management.
Yeah.
So do you actually plug it into your phone? Yeah, I assume you're using your phone, or
Yeah.
do you plug it into external power just so?
I have one of those like powered cases, like a Mophie, so I just plug it into that.
Okay.
That way it has additional power. Because the screen's on constantly, so it's just draining battery.
So the app will keep the screen on. It'll
Yes.
stop it from going to sleep.
Yes.
Okay. And then it doesn't slow time or anything when you're using it, does it?
No,
So it's just instantaneous. Okay.
It is really fast.
it's super responsive. I'm really impressed with how well it works.
I mean, the Destiny app actually is very similar, I think. So that doesn't surprise me that they're pretty good at keeping the latency low.
Because that would definitely be a deal breaker. Like I
Yeah.
would not use that if it was like, I guess it kind of works. I mean, but no,
Yeah.
it's really, really well done.
I haven't tried it with the PC yet. Hopefully it'll work as well. But I don't know. Is it so? It's worth it, you'd say?
I'm always bringing the pip up. Like I'm constantly staring at that thing, so it's really handy for me just to keep like the map or inventory, like whatever it is I'm doing most, or if I'm doing a bunch of quests and I want to mark some as active and some as inactive, just so as I'm progressing, so I don't have to constantly stop.
What color is your Pip-Boy?
I keep default.
Oh,
Really?
interesting.
Why? Do y'all change it?
Gav's is blue. Mine will be pink. You can make it pink.
I went for taupe, really. Kind of a tan.
What a dad move of you.
Why is everything I do a dad move?
I went for boring, really.
Yeah.
It's just...
I just don't want it to hurt my eyes, you know?
Oh my... You dadded it up even more.
Did you put your reading glasses on? Let me
Yeah.
look at this. Pip
My
here.
bifocals here aren't quite...
Look, it's really sharp green, and I had to look at that a lot when I was young because that's the only monitors that we had. Making it worse.
Oh, man.
Making it worse.
Make sure you study for your goat, son.
I mean, the one thing I'm not so sure about with this title, though, is you just have to collect all the garbage of the world.
It's amazing.
Why is that amazing? You have to take everything.
I feel like it's turned me into a hoarder. Like, I find myself in the game, like, looking for trash cans. Like, I gotta find duct tape. You know, I'm like...
Really, you do. It's like, I need some glue. I want
to see you in the real world. Like, gotta find some duct tape.
It's like adhesive, gears, and screws. I'm always like, oh, is that a camera? That's got gears and screws. You know?
Here's what that game has turned our office into today is, oh, man, I gotta find copper. Jeremy, where do you get copper? Oh, shit, I need aluminum. Jeremy, where do you get aluminum? I need screws. What has screws, Jeremy? It's like everybody's shouting at Jeremy.
I walked in your office earlier and I saw Jeremy playing. I was talking to Michael. I look over at Jeremy's screen and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Is that all aluminum?" He goes, "Yeah." Can you believe it? I was like, "Where is that?" Like he found like a room with like 78 aluminum. I was so happy. He was like picking up like meal trays or something, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's awesome." Yeah, so it's definitely promotes hoarding.
Yeah. Well, so I think the reason I think I want to do Tomb Raider first is because I feel like I can be done with it
Yeah.
so much quicker and then have it out of the way.
That
and
was
then
my
go
that
to
was my
Fallout.
argument. Yeah, and it's the first hour of it I played is fun. It's a little bit of a slow start. I mean,
I've heard only good things.
I've read some really interesting things. It was like, and I can't remember where the review was. It may have been on Kotaku, where they were like, "Well, it's very open world, but they just got rid of all the open world bullshit." I have no idea what that
Interesting.
means.
They have like hubs now. That's like
Yeah.
the new thing where you get to like big wide open areas. But I read some people that were like, this is a great addition to the story. And some people are like, they kind of fucked off with the story. And then, but everyone is like, well, regardless, it's really fun. And like,
Yeah.
at the end, she becomes like an unstoppable killing machine. But
Unstoppable.
still fun.
Yeah.
Unstoppable killing machine.
Well, I really liked the last Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, it was
I-
really good.
I've never been like a fan of that franchise, but I thought the last one was so well done that I'm actually looking forward to this one. And I haven't played it yet. Obviously, I'm knee deep in Fallout. I'm like this deep actually in Fallout. But I read they do some interesting things with the Twitch integration on the Xbox One. That if you stream the game via the Twitch app,
Yes.
that viewers who are watching can like vote essentially on choices that are presented
Really?
to them
Yeah.
in the game.
There's apparently something called cards. And the viewers can vote on the cards, and they changed the game. So like, there's a big head mode,
Right. And, like,
so they can vote for that. I just thought that was cool.
Oh wow! But it only integrates with Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And only if you stream, obviously, only if you're streaming with the Twitch app on the Xbox
Right.
One. And I think you might have to be watching on the Twitch app on the Xbox One as well. No, because it was through Twitch chat. Never mind. I'm talking out my ass. So yeah, they did a curated set of 64 cards have been arranged into 186 pairs for viewers to vote on. I don't know how
Interesting.
64 turns into 186.
I don't know.
Internet math.
Yeah, so then you're right. So one of them is big head mode. So I mean, that's cool to me. I think that's really awesome. It's a good way to encourage people to stream your game and it gives
Yeah.
you rewards and it gives the viewers rewards. It's a good way to encourage people to stream and it's a good way to encourage people to watch.
Yep.
It's really like gaming that system.
Here's the thing I'm a little sad about with Tomb Raider, though. They stripped out the multiplayer, which I guess nobody really played it that much. But
You are all about the multiplayer.
It was a good
it
multiplayer.
had a really good
Anytime
multiplayer.
we bring up multiplayer, I'm like, who played the Uncharted multiplayer? You're like, I did.
I
Who
didn't.
played the
I
Last
never
of Us
played
multiplayer? I did.
Did play a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah.
What? It's my job.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, it's your job.
whatever you say,
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, even if they'd done something where they just slapped in like the last, kind of like Halo Reach did, where they took it's like, yeah, we got multiplayer. Here's Halo 3's multiplayer again. That was Reach, right? That did that.
Yeah.
If they just done that and slapped in a couple maps, that would have been cool. I'd been happy with that even. But it's just completely gone. So that's sad. I'm sad to see it go.
Yeah, it was fun.
You got your own to
I
fill
know,
with.
but I could just see the
over.
bottom of his. Well, because I didn't know if this was a button, and this thing looks like
Button.
Oh, it feels like I can.
Break it.
I don't. It feels like it could come off, but
Look, it's
It's a cigarette
barely
lighter.
held together as it is. The inside's falling off. Everything that's
I
loose
do really
isn't
like
a button.
that I can. Does this do anything when you're using it?
Yeah,
Or they're just
you
cool.
can tune.
Twist it
No,
4
it doesn't-
times
it
and it
doesn't
No,
do
does
breaks.
it do
anything.
anything?
No.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's just
Look,
there to
I
look
just
good.
like- and what about this thing though?
No, nothing. Does
Oh, it doesn't do anything.
You can turn it.
Well, yeah, I like that you can turn everything. I just
I
didn't know if
think
it did.
that was
anything.
my complaint when they first announced this, and I came back and did the patch. Was I said I wish that this had Bluetooth in it, and that you could Bluetooth pair it to your phone, and that doing this would have toggled through your different
Well, look,
screens.
there have been so many people developing these for 3D printers in some very, very elaborate builds. I would not be surprised if one existed before too much longer,
Yeah, I
where
can see-
somebody home built it.
Now that I'm twisting this, I can see why they wouldn't want you twisting it too much.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind
Look
of
at this.
janky
Look at this
falling
one. This
apart.
one is entirely 3D printed. I mean, obviously, other than the phone, but it has you can actually have a tape
holotape
deck
in
that
it?
that deploys. It comes in multiple sizes depending on your wrist and phone size.
Wow.
And it's got some actual metal hardware pieces that you had to buy, but other than that, it's all printed.
That is really cool.
You know, it's amazing the world that we live in now. Barbara, I was talking to Joel earlier, and Barbara came by with something for him to sign, and it was like this little caboose thing. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Is that 3D printed?" She was like, "No, it's just wood." I was like, "How fucked up is the world we live in now?" Where my first question is like, "Oh, did someone 3D print that?" It's like,
Did
"No,
a
it's
robot make that? No, nature.
No, well, he whittled.
Yes.
So it's a person with a knife and a lot
it's
of
a
time.
robot with a knife and a lot of time.
it's technology from thousands of years
Yeah.
ago. It's not anything new." It's like, "Oh, right, the way people the original 3D printing."
Whittling.
Yeah. So what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, I'm sorry. I'm going to talk so much about Fallout. There's a bunch of things I want to say. So according to Steam charts, which like unofficially tracks the number of people playing games on Steam, Fallout 4 was the most played Steam by concurrent players ever on Steam, not counting Valve titles like Dota and TF2.
230.
Why not counting those?
It's up. It went above that. It peaked at 444.
Wow. We reported yesterday, I think it was 230 something at the time. So, wow, 444 is awesome.
Yeah, and then in second place behind it, the ones that beat it were CS:GO and Dota 2, and behind it was the next. Oh, this is an updated graph. This is new
Wow.
what I saw.
What does that say?
This was current at the time that screenshot was taken. Of all time, the biggest game behind it was GTA 5, which was at 360,000.
Oh, so that's interesting because when we did our story, it hadn't beat GTA yet,
yeah.
so it was still behind GTA. Wow, that's really
It has
cool.
passed it.
I'm just still shocked at the Dota numbers there. I mean, and
Dota is very big, my friend.
I was looking actually into like the numbers of people streaming for different things because we were talking about doing a StarCraft 2 stream, but no one's watching those.
Yeah, StarCraft has gone a little by the wayside.
It really has. I don't know how their sales numbers are doing, but
There's StarCraft 2 out. Like, there's new stuff coming out for StarCraft 2, but
yeah, no, Legacy of the Void came out.
Right.
Yeah, just this week.
but I'm saying it's still like they're still releasing stuff for it is the point I'm trying to make, but
Yeah.
still nobody is watching.
Well, and then
Yeah.
they announced that I'm going to be all over the place because now we're talking about StarCraft. So also, BlizzCon was just this past weekend, and they announced that now that they're done making the StarCraft 2 campaigns, that they're going to continue releasing additional DLC.
Right.
So they're in the spring, they're going to have Nova Covert Ops. Yeah, there we go.
Wow,
It's like
that was serendipitous.
the whole game was released almost as DLC because it was released in all these parts, and now it's like, and now there's more DLC.
Well, I don't know that it's not really DLC. Like, there's 3 very large standalone titles essentially.
Yeah. Oh, with the same number.
It is. Well, the Assassin's Creed did the same thing.
Did they?
No,
No, they took the number away.
There's Assassin's Creed. Well, there's still Assassin's Creed 2, and then there's like Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood, and then there's Assassin's Creed 2. There was more than.
They weren't called Assassin's Creed 2, They
I
were
think that
Assassin's
was still
Creed
in there.
Brotherhood.
I mean, it was implied too, because it didn't go
Okay,
to 3.
no,
This is like
no.
prominent in the
Yeah,
logo.
you don't get to say
Look
it's
it up.
implied,
It's implied.
too. Excuse me.
Then they went to Assassin's Creed 3.
We're looking at official titles
and then everyone
here.
wanted to take Assassin's Creed 3 away.
Why
'cause
did
it
you
was
get
not
drunk
good.
in the middle of that?
I don't know.
1 second.
Look, I got
my job.
Yeah, fine. Cheese Master's looking it up.
So there was an Assassin's Creed 2 DS title. Brotherhood was not Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood.
But everybody knew it was Assassin's Creed 2.
Again,
I mean,
you
it was
sound drunk and
Ezio.
you're not making a good point.
It was Ezio.
Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery was the DS version.
There you go. See how clearly I was
Okay, but
talking about
that's
the DS version. Everybody knows the DS version.
I love that they have a close up of your face when he's like, and they did have a DS version. You're like,
Oh, that's not quite the same.
Not the support for the point I was hoping for.
BlizzCon also brought us a cinematic trailer for Legion that looked gorgeous. Sylvanas looking amazing. Brand new armor set for her.
Coming out next summer.
Yes, which is surprising. I think a lot of people were worried because we still don't have a beta date or any info on the beta. I honestly thought they were going to wait until the close of BlizzCon and be like, and the beta is open.
Right.
You know
I thought so too.
But then they didn't.
Have we
still
gotten
don't have
spoiled
anything.
by that, do you think? Too many people have done that now, right? It's
What?
I
maybe they'll
guess.
just give it to us now.
I think that
Well,
they,
but in their timeline,
Yeah.
they're like late for the beta at this point.
I think they're late, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that might have been their original plan, and now they've just fallen behind, and
Yeah.
they're just playing
So
it cool.
just nobody mentioned it. Just don't
Yeah.
care about it.
So it's this summer. The cinematic trailer looked beautiful. Looked very, very cool. Yahahahas.
So, and then speaking of trailers, they also debuted the trailer for the Warcraft movie as well
Yes.
at BlizzCon.
Which had a BlizzCon crowd shot in it.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
it was for like just a second. It's like when all people are cheering.
yeah,
out.
it's apparently people from BlizzCon, which I think is really cute. And everyone's like, oh, look at all the CG. Yeah, it's a friggin' Warcraft movie.
Yeah, what did you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
You know-
what did you expect?
I think what's weird about it is, I mean, there's been such a run of excuse me, sorry, movies that deal with this kind of like fantasy stuff, and what they do to make it look more realistic is they really desaturate it, and this one is not afraid of saturation. Like, it's out and out. It looks more video gamey.
Yeah, it looks.
They kind of got it, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Did they get it though? I mean, that's the question. Is that going to work? Or
I think it looks awesome.
I mean, and we've seen several movies too, and I can't name any off the top of my head where the early trailers were very saturated, and they're like, "Oh, we need to mute this a little bit because that's
Yeah,
too
I'm
much."
afraid it's like gonna be like, I don't know, like Aragon or one of those movies that's like, just, I don't know. I'm very middle of the road about that trailer.
I know, I'm
think.
not like super excited, but I did feel like things looked good. For me, for some reason, it recalls the Hobbit movie when I saw it in high frame rate because that looked like a PC cutscene to me, like that high frame rate. But I didn't want the Hobbit movie to look like that. But I want this movie to look like that.
Really?
Like Ashley was saying, like, oh, it looks like a PC cutscene. I'm like perfectly fine with that.
So you feel like that would make the movie better in some ways?
I just feel like I would be more accepting of it because it's a PC property. I just accept PC cutscene status or
Sure.
aesthetic. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know. Also, I thought the effects looked great. I thought everybody looked really good.
Yeah, I think the orcs look
Yeah.
good. I mean, I was
They
really
do, yeah.
that was the thing I was most worried about with that movie. I think was what are the orcs going to look like? And even when they were releasing like the teaser images and the stills, I was like, I don't know. But then once you see them in motion, it's like, okay, yeah, I totally buy that.
Once you're on board with the visual style they're going for, it feels much better. Like it takes, there's a little bit of a hump there where it's like, okay, I get it. I guess see what you're doing.
I still think they should have had like boxy forearms, low poly,
That's just the style du jour is everybody has boxy forearms.
like original Warcraft, like low poly orcs. You know,
Speaking of hump, Travis Fimmel's in that movie, and he looks good.
I still don't know who that is. That Viking
He's the guy who's from Vikings.
Okay,
yes.
which one is he in the trailer?
He's Anduin.
Right, Anduin.
he kind of looks like Paul Rudd to me in that movie. I was like, is that Paul Rudd?
No, there's another guy in the movie
Is
who
it
looks
the
like
other
Paul
guy?
Rudd who's
Okay.
not Travis Fimmel.
Oh, you know who I'm talking
Yes,
about then?
yes.
Okay, I thought that was him.
He's like a James McAvoy looking dude.
Yeah, kind
Yes.
of. Okay, I got you. I hear you.
The patch describes movies.
It's like Paul Rudd.
I don't know.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to read this other thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of The Patch is also brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Stop shaving with an old razor. It's gross. Why are you torturing yourself with a gross old blade week after week? Probably because you don't want to shell out $20 for a pack of new ones. DollarShaveClub.com has revolutionized the way men shave. With Dollar Shave Club, you can shave with a fresh blade as often as you want because they deliver a whole sleeve of amazing razors for just a few bucks a month. The razors are so good, millions of guys have joined. Even the billion-dollar razor corporations are freaking out, but instead of lowering their bloated prices, they're trying to fool you into milking the same blade for an entire month, and that's gross. They price gouge us long enough. Never go back to squeezing weeks and weeks of shaves out of a disgusting rusty blade. Join Dollar Shave Club and use a fresh blade whenever you want. It feels amazing, and it's a third of the price. Join the millions of others who figured out the smarter way to shave. Join Dollar Shave Club now by going to dollarshaveclub.com/patch. That's dollarshaveclub.com/patch. Thank you, Dollar Shave Club, for supporting the patch, for supporting quality video game discussions like these. Like the Paul Rudd looking guy, or the James McAvoy looking guy.
Jumping back a second here to StarCraft 2 and like people streaming it. Someone mentioned it's like the 7th most watched game on Twitch right now. That's not good to me.
No, that's not
No.
impressive.
That's a new release.
It is, but It is for how long StarCraft has been out, but and not this new one, but I mean overall.
Yeah.
But it used to be like #1 all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it has fallen. No one can deny it's gone way downhill.
Yeah.
And
So
when you
it's number 7. What are the 6 above it?
Well, I can tell you.
Dota, I'm sure.
Dota was on there. League of Legends. The big one that was the AAA title was still Fallout 4 was doing like, when I looked at it, it was 144,000 people watching Fallout 4, 20,000 watching StarCraft 2.
Wow.
I mean, that's a big delta for titles that were released on the same day.
Yeah.
And titles that you would think have a very large following. It could be StarCraft is just not as fun to watch for your average audience.
Oh, this is going to sound... I'm going
They
to make
want to
a
watch the
huge
plot.
stretch here.
Yeah.
So I feel like when Bethesda took over Fallout 3, like it kind of gave a rebirth. I know the Fallout series is really old, but I feel like it kind of had a rebirth and kind of a rejuvenation with that title. Do you think now that people who play StarCraft are like older since they started StarCraft in the late 90s? And it's like they're not into watching people stream?
That's
like,
very
it's like a
possible.
generation gap.
Very different crowd. It was only released on one platform, so that also narrows the audience potentially.
Speaking of which,
All right.
I got bones to pick.
You got bones to pick?
I got
Pick
bones
those
to
bones.
pick.
Can you reach it
Is
with
it-
that thing on your arm there?
Is it about Tomb Raider?
No.
Ah.
We're still talking about Blizzard.
Okay.
I see I can't move my left hand, so that's why I'm like, no. It's with Blizzard. It's Overwatch not having an OS 10 version. Blizzard has always released OS 10 clients for their games same day along with their PC versions, and they've been just as good, if not better. In fact, Warcraft on OS 10 had iTunes integration, and it was a lot more fully featured. There were features on there that you couldn't get on the PC, and now no Overwatch client.
Yeah.
Instead, they ditched it for consoles.
I saw that my friend got into the beta and she was like, got my Overwatch beta. It's not a max. Like, completely fucked.
So, man, I feel so bad for you guys.
I have a
You're-
PC, so suck it, Ryan.
Why are you telling me to suck it? I have
Because
a
you said
PC,
like
you have a
this.
PC, we're all
Because
good.
you said
were
like
trying
this.
to be
You were
all
like,
like-
oh, you
yeah,
guys.
trying to be all high and mighty.
I don't even
I'm
want to be
gonna
on your
fucking
High and
side.
mighty, and just not playing
High
on
and
your
mighty.
PC.
That was the definition of
This is
high
a
and
piece of
mighty.
Back on
garbage
your
that you play.
side.
Stop it. I see what
Back
you're
on
doing.
my side.
This piece of Mac, yes, it's bad for gaming. Everyone knows this. It's been around. It's been that situation for a long time.
When you were young.
Grandpa,
Yes.
Grandpa's the one that's like, oh yeah, them apples, they're good for gaming.
No.
It's the only place you can do it, right?
Grandpa's the one who's like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't play any games on the Mac anymore
You
because of
can't. They're
94. That
garbage.
was true.
They have a locked hardware set which is inflexible and unable to keep up with.
Easier to code for.
Yeah,
not
great.
as many variables.
Yeah, if you want to do like an 8-bit side scroller, yeah, you can do that on Mac.
How dare
no problem.
you?
Limited
You must
hardware
build a
set.
boat runs like a dream on that machine.
That nothing runs like a dream on that machine. It's an iMac and it doesn't even have a tower. It's a fucking monitor.
You must build a boat on it, and it works great.
I bet it does.
Thank you.
But I play Heroes of the Storm on my MacBook Air.
Yeah.
No problem.
I bet you do.
No problem.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I still don't want to be on his side, Gus, because he's over here heckling you, and I don't appreciate it.
No.
Oh, you play Heroes of the Storm? I bet you do. What kind of heckle is that?
I'm just saying that that's not really that impressive. It's like, oh man, my game, can you play solitaire on it? I can play mad
That's the
solitaire
thing.
on my computer.
Here's the thing. None of us are measuring our dicks except for you. We're
I'm
all
not
just sharing what we
I'm
use
just
our
saying-
stuff
you're
for,
saying
and you're
it's
like,
huge.
oh.
You're saying that you can't have a modern game on a platform that isn't good for modern gaming. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is they have always supported the platform. They've always gone the extra mile.
And-
And I've always appreciated it. I've loved playing their games on Mac. Disappointed I can't.
Here's
this
the
time.
thing. Do you think it's Blizzard that let you down or Apple?
Blizzard.
You'd be
Wow.
wrong.
Get your
Bli-
damn hat
Bli-
out, Ryan.
Blizzard
Get
was,
that hat out,
Blizzard
boy.
was there in the dark days on the PowerPC architecture.
They were trying-
They were still supporting it.
They did their best, but Apple just let them down.
Nope.
They're too interested in making phones now.
Wow.
You want to play some Overwatch on your little iPad?
You
Yes,
are,
I
you
would
are
love to play
working
Overwatch on
so
my
Well, you
iPad.
hard.
can't.
You're working so hard for the fanboy love right now. I feel like I know you less
Here's
than I
the
did
thing.
when we started
I'm
this.
not a fanboy of PC. I just hate Apple.
Okay.
There-
All right,
and the
again,
truth
and
comes
there
out.
it is.
I've never made a secret of that.
There it is. Okay. You knew who
Oh,
you
yeah?
were marrying when we
yeah?
got married.
I had an alcohol problem when we met.
You're supposed to love me through this.
The better and worse.
Better and thick and thin and worse.
Right.
I realized halfway through that I was like, oh, it's funny because like a drunk person would mix those up, but it's not as funny when you do it and you're sober. If I were drunk, that joke would be hilarious.
Yeah. Too bad we just still play. Too bad we still don't play the Hearthstone game. Yeah. I'm glad we don't play that game anymore.
I'm glad we don't play it because someone never played. Speaking of people who are all against
You
that.
picked a game I couldn't play.
Oh, you can't play. Drink a
Why?
beer in Germany with the achievement hunters. Can't drink with us.
Outdated hardware? No support for it, huh? What a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit.
It's got really hostile all of a sudden. I don't know why everybody's gotten so mad.
The thumb for this should just be us like beating up Ryan.
With our Pip Boys.
I think the fact that you guys have to use Apple products so much has made you angrier inside.
Oh, that's so cute.
So sad for you. Speaking of Heroes of the Storm and other Blizzard news, they also announced several new heroes for Heroes of the Storm, including one from Overwatch. But I think the most interesting one was the addition of Cho'Gall into Heroes of the Storm, which is a character that two people play at the same time. Oh. So it's a character with two heads. And basically, from what I understand, I haven't played that character yet, so I don't know exactly how it works. From what I understand, one person's essentially like the driver and controls one head, and the other is like a kind of a brutish player. The other player controls the secondary head and is more of like a magic user. So apparently it's kind of powerful. So in order to compensate for it, any team who has Cho'Gall on their side gets one less human player. So it becomes 4v5 if you have Cho'Gall on your team.
Wait, so when you say that 4v5, do you mean four with two of them being Cho'Gall?
Correct.
Okay.
So like 4 characters in game, but still 5 humans playing.
Wait,
because there's two
Got
players
it.
playing.
No, that's different than
So it's it is different than what you just said yes to.
So I'm trying to clarify.
So it's still 5 humans,
right.
5v5,
But
4
characters.
champions.
Yes.
Well, that makes sense because that would be 6 humans versus 5.
And if an opposing player gets a kill on Cho'Gall, they get credit for a double kill.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's an interesting mechanic. It seems to me like it would be super broken and like super crazy, difficult to balance, but they said they worked really hard at it and they figured it out. So I'm excited to see it.
If someone's bad at it, do you say they're playing Cho'Gall?
Oh.
No.
Come on! Someone's gonna say that in a Twitch chat someday.
That was Cho
God
bad.
damn it.
I hope not.
I can already read the comments now. Yeah, you don't think I'm funny. Fuck off.
Let's see what else I have. They also announced a new arena mode for Heroes of the Storm. So the Cho'Gall character, so I haven't played Heroes of the Storm in a while. I played Heroes of the Storm for hours every day for a long time. But I've kind of fallen off the bandwagon. But I feel like the new character and the addition of this new arena mode will really like draw me back in, because arena is one of my favorite modes in Smite, which is probably one of the only other MOBA style games that I play. So I'm excited to see that come into Heroes of the Storm.
Did you play any Overwatch? I think we had it on the stream, right?
Still not in the beta.
Which you wouldn't remember if you were here, I imagine. But no.
Well, I was here.
There was a stream.
There was a stream? Something happened? No, I have not gotten a chance to play Overwatch yet. But they announced the last 3 playable characters and a collector's edition and PS4 and Xbox One support for that.
It was kind of interesting. They're doing almost like a Snake Eyes and what was the rivalry between the two G.I. Joe ninjas.
Yeah.
They've kind of introduced that with Genji and whoever the samurai guy is.
Yeah.
Oh, Genji's cool. He has all the arms, right? The orange.
He's got like the
Orange one?
green sword. He's got like his gauntlet
different.
shoots shuriken.
Yeah.
Who is it that I'm thinking of?
Well, there's so
thought
many
his name was
characters now
Genji,
in
but
Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean the cast photo is just tremendous.
No, it is. It's amazing.
And I feel like Blizzard's really good at making games. They're really good at what they do. I think a lot, like anytime I watch these new character reveals that Blizzard creates, I think about the Battle Cry reveals, because Battle Cry seems like it's also somewhat of a similar game, and I feel like their characters don't have personality, whereas when you watch the Blizzard cinematics introing characters, there's tons of personality. Like you can really latch on to those characters. So it's a really weird dynamic to watch those two side by side. Maybe I'm the only person. Maybe I'm crazy, but I always think about that anytime I watch them.
I do agree that Blizzard makes characters you want to, almost like you want to get to know. Like Tracer is the one Cavalry's is that one, and she was in the first trailer, and I was like, I want to play her. Like I don't even know anything about what she does, and I'm like, her.
No, yeah, it was, and I think it was really smart of them to put her out first, because it seems like she has tons of characters.
Yeah.
Seems like a character you would know from like a Pixar movie or something.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
like a very familiar aesthetic to it. It's a really, really well done.
I'm so surprised that I have yet to hear anything bad about Overwatch. Everyone who plays it, across the board, tweets, Facebooks, everything, people are like, man, amazing. Super great. Can't wait for it to come out. Which is awesome. Usually you get someone who dissents just to dissent.
Yeah.
Well, Blizzard is pretty good about putting a lot of polish into things, especially before they show it to somebody. The things that usually are the easiest targets are like that. Well, this character just doesn't work, or is ridiculously overbalanced or overbalanced. He's too balanced.
He's so balanced.
He's so balanced.
The most neutral character I've ever played.
He probably
he's
plays
taupe.
with a pit boy with
The same joke.
But so I guess they've just play tested it really well. There was an alpha, right, that was even more closed.
Yeah. They normally do that.
even more close.
Even more closed.
It was less open.
Yes.
I want to step back for a second.
Okay.
There's something I forgot to
Let's
mention.
slow it down.
I got another bone to pick.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh wait, I should read one more thing. Let me read this, and then I got another bone to pick.
What was this? It was this the bone you wanted to?
Oh,
pick?
did you find a video I made 14 years ago?
Yeah,
How
no.
quaint.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Do you want to watch? Do we want to watch Friends or The Cosby Show by any chance?
How quaint.
How quaint.
I love how that's how you know you really actually pissed him off. Oh, isn't that adorable?
Aren't you I don't know.
Using my own words against me? Fine, if you want to do that.
It's a different world back then. All right, let me read this.
Same world.
This episode of The Patch is sponsored by the Red versus... Oh, wait, where is it? This episode of The Patch is sponsored by the Red vs. Blue Ultimate Fan Guide. It's available November 17th, but you can pre-order now at redversusbluebook.com. If you pre-order now, you get a $5 credit you can use in the Rooster Teeth store. The book's co-authored by Bernie Burns and is the ultimate fan guide for the series. The RVB Ultimate Fan Guide makes an awesome holiday gift. Wink.
You could even make it a stocking stuffer.
You could.
I believe there are even some excerpts were read on the stream. If you happen to
Yes.
catch that or know where someone posted it.
It's got like a kill count for characters over there. What's my kill count? My kill count's 11. It's pretty good.
Is there anyone that has less?
Lopez has 3. Caboose has 2. Yeah, Church has 8. See? You can find out these things if you get with the book. I fucking worked on this thing for 13 years. I'm learning. Oh, man. That's actually really
Maybe
cool.
you should read that.
This is my copy now. So, fuck you guys. I'm going to take it home and read it.
Great bathroom material. Little tidbits.
Yeah.
For your little tidbits.
Gross. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah, bone to pick.
Yes.
What was my bone to pick?
Pick a bone.
I already forgot.
right, was it
I remember. Like, who was I mad at? I was mad at Polygon. So they, it's like the worst kind of, in my opinion, it's like one of the worst kinds of clickbaiting material you can do. Was it today? Yeah, they published a Fallout 4 walkthrough, and I was like, I've got to see this. How do they already have a fucking walkthrough up? So I went, and it's like, obviously there's so much to cover. It's organized like table of contents. The table of contents had 131 different links. For,
Holy
like
shit.
missions, walkthroughs, and everything. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Of those 131 links, only 16 actually worked. The rest of them said, coming soon. I was like, how the fuck can you publish that and push that live? It's not even, it's barely 10% complete.
You're basically like sharing a Google Doc with people. They're like, I'm filling this in as I go.
Right. It's like, and if for the story walkthrough, it's like the first 2 missions are done and nothing else.
I don't know. That's not bothering me that much.
I think it's awful because you make people look at it and then you make them come back and look at it again and like keep checking it.
I mean,
why
that's
not?
how wikis work.
But it's not a wiki.
Well,
There's no ads on a wiki. No one's making money.
It's a compendium of walkthroughs.
There's
Yeah, but you're going to be the first link that comes up because you put yours up first and you're not providing any information. Like,
well, they're providing any information they find.
yeah, but
or make.
In my defense,
Yeah.
like me, they have had the game for 2 weeks now. They
should
should at least have a story.
missions,
Right.
yep.
Maybe everything else can be completed later. The story they should have at least have finished.
I give you that, yeah.
Like whoever was the reviewer, whoever wrote that should have been sitting with the reviewer, or the reviewer should have written it, and they should have worked together to flesh that out.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
No,
after
because
you,
I'm
man.
going to change the bone.
You're gonna change the bone?
So I
Change the
want
bone.
you to be able to say what you want to say about the rest of this bone.
I forgot.
Okay, good. Thanks for being honest. Okay, so I have a bone to pick, and it's people who review shit low, because I feel like people do that to be like, we're different.
Yeah.
Everybody gave Fallout 4 90s and up. 70.
Yeah.
Like, you're not different or special just because you review a game low.
Look, we have legitimate things to say, and if we don't rate it low, you won't know how legitimate they
Yeah,
are.
nobody will come to our site to look at it.
No, I
Like,
totally agree. I
another
feel like-
90, whatever.
Yeah, people, especially before the game came out, people were jumping on like that negative bandwagon, which is why one of the first things I started talking about this episode was I feel like the bugs and the negativity is really overblown. Like people are like, and that's like what people are making a stand on to try to stand out. Like, oh, well, we're different. We
Yeah.
we have a more keen eye than the average reviewer. Like people were jizzing all over
discerning.
Jeff Gerstmann and Giant Bomb because
Yes.
they like called out all the problems in
They
the
were
game.
like, it's a technical mess.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you, Jeff Gerstmann, for keeping it real.
We sipped
so
wine and
real.
ate cheese on crackers as we wrote our review.
Yes,
Yeah.
on
We're
my
the elite.
Mixler.
And maybe that's maybe that's not just his view. Maybe it's like people who are reading his stuff, or maybe like they're looking for that. But I thought that was crazy.
I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
well, some people want that real stripped down view. They want to know the real nitty gritty stuff that you can't. Well, some people can't look past that stuff, and those people probably would be happy to have that kind of review because it does have technical issues.
yeah,
I honestly feel like it's a blowback from, I feel like there was a change in the industry when BioShock Infinite came out and got so many perfect scores from so many different outlets. It was getting 10s all over the place. And then I feel like it didn't like start the trend, but I feel like that's where the trend for me really picked up of people being like, we're going to be different. We're going to say BioShock Infinite gets a 70 because we're different than everyone else. And then you look at our score because you want to say, why did they give it a 70?
Right.
That annoys me.
That works.
On the flip side, I also hate when people are like 9, 9.1, 9.4,
Yeah.
9.3, and you're like, oh my, you gotta have some
We
variation.
had to dock you 100th of a point.
Yes.
Because the menu was a little slow.
yeah. I mean, but there's nothing is worse than Metacritic user reviews. Like, 0 out of 10. I didn't play this game, but in the
Yeah.
past I didn't like the Fallout universe. It's like, oh, you're not contributing anything.
I
I
love
tried
that.
to buy it, the system was broken. Like,
I love that. Yeah, 0 out of 10. I went to Best Buy and their registers were down, so fuck Fallout.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, that has nothing to do with anything. It's the worst.
It is the
I feel like
worst.
people do that on purpose. Where else did I see that? I feel like did I have a note about that? Oh no, that's just something else. So I'm gonna say something nice about Polygon
Okay.
now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm gonna,
compliment sandwich.
yeah. You gotta take the sour with the sweet. They did actually write a very comprehensive, very good Fallout timeline. So if you're not very familiar with the Fallout universe, I would highly recommend you check it out. It's really well organized, has a bunch of key events organized chronologically, from before the war to where the games take place now, and it's really well done. It was a good read. Even as someone who's played almost all the Fallout games, who really knows the universe well, it was still really nice to see it all laid out, and it was really good.
Sweet.
how many hours have you played the game so far?
Oh God! Right now, I think I'm only like 50 hours in. At the
Only
moment.
50. Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Damn it, Ryan!
you
You
tweet
have
me
to
again?
turn your damn phone off
No, I
when you're
don't.
on a show.
No, we're good.
I yelled at him twice about this already.
You were the cause of one of them.
Well, because you didn't turn your damn phone. It would have been causing nothing if your phone was off.
Anyway, by the way,
Just
I finally
yell at him. It only
Yeah.
makes sense when you.
No,
yell.
I'm nodding like yeah.
he's on board.
You tell
You
him.
better wait until your father gets Gus. Fucking.
I feel like as the
Taupe.
we need to have someone manning the camera over here because Meg just slowly slides away as the
You get him, Gus. You tell him.
yeah, just piling
I
on.
hope we come out with a taupe shirt.
Taupe. It's a color.
That'll be the tagline. Taupe. It's a color.
It's a color. I finally beat Phantom Pain.
Oh, welcome.
What a load of horse shit that
Hey, what do you think about
story
Mission
is.
51?
Wait.
I think actually it was
Should
not
we-
bad.
How long's that game been out? Are
It's a while.
are
I'm not gonna. I
spoilers
mean, we
for-
Like a month?
Okay.
What is there to? There's only one spoiler in the whole
2
game,
months.
and they spoil it themselves in the first 12 seconds of the game. Here's my favorite part. The spoiler takes place in an early mission, which you then have to play again.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
And it's the worst thing in the game. Sorry.
Meg is now drenched in spit.
I showered you with my hate. You should have moved further away. It's the worst experience of playing the game in the game.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should do it again. I mean, we could just show you, but do the whole thing again.
Can we just talk about this while the B-roll of Quiet rolling around in the puddle plays? Because I
you
didn't
know.
play this game, but I enjoyed that, so we could just get that B-roll. That would be great.
My wife hated watching me Metal Gear Solid, specifically whenever I had quiet because she has that humming noise. Yeah, and she would be like, "What?
That's
why the
all the
fuck
time.
is she making that noise?" So then, like when I got to the end of the game and you do what you're talking about right
Yeah.
now, she was like, didn't you already do this? And I was like, yes, I did.
It's really interesting that Quiet hums because her fucking name is Quiet.
Well, there's a whole
It's
thing.
'cause
Like
she
she can't
doesn't
talk. Yeah.
Right,
She
but
can't talk.
she can just hum.
No, she
really
doesn't
annoyingly.
talk.
Well, she doesn't because if she does,
She can't.
This, yeah.
there it
Let's
is.
just keep it going.
I mean, there's a
She's
good reason
in
for her
the
not to
rain.
talk.
I did a story. That's a really weird slow mo. I did a story. You cut out the best part. I did a story
Takes your top
about.
off.
Yeah, she rolls around in a puddle like. I did a story about Metal Gear, and I used that B-roll, and I couldn't figure because I haven't played the game. I was like, is she a figment of his imagination because she disappears and then she comes back? I'm like, is he dreaming about her? And Ryan's like, no, it's nothing. You're thinking way too deep. She just can disappear.
No. She's got parasites.
Yeah.
Parasites make her go invisible. It makes
I
perfect
thought
sense.
it was like he was missing her or something, and so he was thinking, and that's what he was thinking about is her like just drenching herself in a puddle.
It's like an 80s music video, like some rock ballad.
Here's the thing. So that game has really good gameplay, though. It's like a huge delta of ridiculous. I mean, whenever there is story, it's overperformed and just ridiculous dialogue. I mean, it's like it was written with a speak and spell.
That's the
it's
style,
like
man. You gotta buy into that. Like,
I can't do it.
I mean, for like
I
the whole
tried.
series, like especially for the past games. The past games I really enjoy. The gameplay is definitely much tighter on 5. If you did not like this story, you will hate every other game they've ever made.
Well, now, and I kind of had to look into it because like, what am I supposed to take away from this? Like, and the fact that Mission 51 was left off is like, well, there was a whole thing where it's like, oh, this is the whole group of people leave and they take a giant weapon, and you're like, I guess they're gone.
Yeah.
I don't need any resolution to that storyline. Bye.
Yeah. You all have fun.
But then, yeah, they have the big reveal at the end, which, by the way, good way to ruin that reveal. At the beginning, pick a really ridiculous face.
Really?
All right. I'm kind of curious. After this, I'm gonna go see your face.
I once accidentally made a ridiculous face. I didn't mean to. It was Mass Effect 2, and there was a slider. I was like, oh, it must not do anything. And so I just like, I guess I put it to one side and forgot about it. And then I started the game, and my lady was like, she had like a duck bill of a mouth, and I had to play the whole fucking game with this duck-billed bitch.
I'm afraid of that. Like, whenever I make a character, and if I don't see what a slider does, I always have to move to the profile. It's like in my head, I'm like, I'm just not seeing it because I've made this mistake before.
I should have, but I had to live with Duck-Bill McGee for the whole game.
Oh yeah, that's awful. I hate that.
But Phantom Pain, good game to play.
Good game. Highly
Just
highly
fuck the
recommend it.
story. Forget about it.
I thought I had 2 more bones to pick, but I only see one.
Wow.
Have you played any StarCraft?
No, I have not. I got to get through Fallout 4 before I play anything else.
I have no bones
You
with a quarter.
actually play StarCraft.
Yeah, I love StarCraft.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that about you.
Huge StarCraft fan. I do remember my 2 bones to pick. Okay, so we don't have much time. So,
Quick
Dig those bones.
I don't. So Conan O'Brien did one of his Clueless Gamer skits about Fallout 4. I don't like that segment. I don't like Clueless Gamer. I
haven't
feel
seen
like
it.
it's just
It's
Conan
where he just
O'Brien-
like talks shit while people play games
right.
next to him.
He's like trying to appeal to a video game crowd by talking about how shitty people who play video games are.
Isn't that
It's
what Jimmy Kimmel just did?
Yeah,
Very
same
similar.
kind of thing.
Shitty.
Like, and obviously, I mean, they must have received some kind of support because they've got like all these props and all the shit to
Oh,
do
yes,
it.
it did.
And it's like, I just don't like that segment. And I think I've said that before. And I just watched it again. I was like, this isn't entertaining to me. Then that made me think even more about other people I hate. I don't like these new GameStop TV commercials where it's like
TV commercials for GameStop?
they portray their employees like idiots and gamers like idiots.
What do they do?
It's like they're overacting, like super nerdy into video games, like acting out scenes. Like,
Oh God, I got to get the latest version of Fallout 4.
What does Laura Croft's thunder cannon do in the game exactly?
What is that, like her tits? What is a thunder cannon?
I don't know.
She's got 2.
She's got
Or
two
it's
of
like
them.
they're talking about Assassin's Creed, so one of them like gets on top of the display case and jumps off in a swan dive. It's like, all right, I get it.
Can I just say, like, I have done. Oh,
Oh
here's
yeah,
it.
here
it
we
is.
are. Yeah, or like they're just like throwing shit. And,
I have previously worked at a GameStop, and oh no,
yeah.
I was that ho-hum looking girl in the commercial. Sorry. Anyway, no, I've worked at a GameStop, but I did when I was a spokesperson for Slim Jim, I did their little in-store DVD. I did like an ad with them. All of their ad reads are like, "Hey guys, Do you like Fallout 4? You'll love the new Fallout 4 disc version on your hand. Like, they're all like written like that, and they want you to say everything like that. Like, they're a cheesy company.
Yeah.
Like, they like the cheese.
I guess maybe both of these stem from the same issue, is that the audience for that is a TV audience. And I don't know, I feel like gamers and TV audiences are diverging a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're appealing to the moms and dads who are going to buy, who are like, I don't know what my kid wants. I'm going to buy him a
Exactly.
GameStop gift card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my kid's goofy like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
The moms and dads.
they're gearing up for that Christmas rush. We're like, I don't know what to get Timmy, but he is a dork.
Get him a gift card.
God, there were so many things we didn't get to. I wanted to talk about. Game Awards are coming back. Jeff Keighley's doing it again. I'm super excited about that. I thought the last one went awesome, and I'm really happy to see him continuing it. I wish him nothing but the best success. I do not hate Jeff Keighley.
Oh, wow.
Good job. No bone to pick.
What about the other guy?
We should get you a graphic that's like, boom.
Gus approved.
Yeah, Gus approved if it's good.
What other guy?
Who was it that it was like
Oh,
Jeff Keighley and
yeah.
the guy from
It was Joel McHale.
Joel
wasn't it?
McHale. There you go.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
who
that
just
Oh my God, he was like this. The fucking Game Award. He was like so over it.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
basically was thinking about firing his agent while he was reading the copy for
Yeah.
the Game Awards. It was
Yeah.
awful.
I was not a Joel McHale fan.
No.
But I am a Jeff Keighley
assume he will not be back this year.
fan. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Game Awards, Xbox One backwards compatibility comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super excited about that.
Which we were so bummed we missed it for the stream. We were talking about playing all
Yeah.
these things for 360. We're like, fuck, we just missed it.
Here's the thing, though. Were several notable titles, like the highest voted titles that they wanted backwards compatibility with, didn't make the list. Like Red Dead Redemption. What was the other?
Well, according to Microsoft, it's on the developer.
I assume, yeah, and I can see how Rockstar probably wouldn't want to take the time right now, but
According to Microsoft, it's just a checkbox. Again, that's their marketing material that they said. It's like
you gotta play test it though. You gotta imagine that you gotta do the checkbox. But if you're talking about play testing Red Dead Redemption end to end with all the side stuff,
Okay, I have a dumb person question. So things have to be, so not everything is going to be backwards compatible. So I can't go get like indie games that were once on the 360 through the Xbox One, or I can.
you cannot unless they have approved themselves for backwards compatibility.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what the
know.
details of basically all it's doing is the Xbox One's going to run an emulator
Right.
for 360 right down to the dashboard, which is
Right.
really cool. But yeah, so they have to rebuild it and just say, yes, do that.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're over time. So thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks for
Stay
letting us
tuned for
bone
Game
you.
Club, and we'll be back to bone you next week.
I feel like I got boned pretty hard already.
Of course you
Extra
did.
bones for Ryan.
You didn't get spit on.
Bye.
Sorry.
The slowest light fade ever.
Is there ever gonna be